guys, we are in the kitchen again today, and we're going to be making some applesauce. I would also like to make some apple pie fill, but I don't know if we're going to get that far today. But so far, I have taken the apples from yesterday and sorted them at least. They're all washed, and we have let me get my finger, right there are ones that are going to stay. They're going to go in the fridge for eating. They are really, really, really nice apples. And then this bucket here is going to be for my pie fill. I kind of chose out all the ones that were a little bit bigger, and also the ones where the stems lined up on both ends, because that makes them peel much better with my handy dandy peeling gadget gizmo. And then this one here is our apples for the applesauce. They were all a little bit smaller and still in really, really good shape. Some of them had bruises or marks or things like that that we're going to have to cut out. Anyways, let's get busy. So we're making decent progress on our applesauce. As you can see from my bucket, I'm about 2/3 through. Basically, if you don't own one of these, you need to have one of these. Basically, we shove on the apple. I cheat and move it up a little bit further just to save time. And I just go like that. And there's our apple. Now, for applesauce, I'm just bunging this right in. I am checking to make sure there's no worminess or anything bad in those. And then I just chuck them right into the pot. It kind of works with any apples. The one thing I would say is if you're, see this guy here, I don't know if you can see it, he's going to be off-centered. My last batch of applesauce, I really messed around with this and trimming and cleaning them up to get the cores out properly. Okay, this time I'm going to be using my food mill to process the apples after they've cooked. On my last recipe I didn't use the food mill because I wanted it to be a little bit chunkier, and yeah, it took hours to make a full pot of applesauce. So this time I am just leaving even the skins because the food mill will get those off. If the core went off centered, it doesn't matter because the food mill will pick it up, so we don't get a piece of core in our applesauce. So right now I still have to get the rest of the apples in here, but what I've done is I've got it on low heat to start cooking. I've put in 8 tablespoons of lemon juice because I was using about 25 pounds of apples and my recipe was for 12 pounds. So I've doubled it. And right now I have put 2 cups of water in here to keep it from sticking. It doesn't really give you an amount on the recipe to put in, so I think you would just kind of gauge it as you go as to how thick you want it or not. But anyways, this is going to be trying a new method for me with the food mill, so yeah, we'll have to see what the results come out like. We have all of our apples in our pot. They've been simmering for roughly about 15 minutes, give or take. Obviously, some of those ones were already in there for quite some time as we were cutting, but you can see they're starting to go soft and mushy, and we've got a little collection of liquid at the bottom. Not a lot. So we're going to turn this off now, and while that's cooling enough to run through the mill, we're going to have some rabbit soup for lunch, and then we'll come back and mill it and get it reheated with a little bit of spices and into jars. We are to the point of jarring up our applesauce. And I do have to say, this is not a method that I would use again. I definitely found using the food mill to do this a lot more work. I had to cook the apples a lot longer to get them to go through the mill, which was a learning curve. And it doesn't have texture. It's just, I mean, I don't know, Chris can kind of zoom in there. It's nice, but it's just not as nice as the other stuff that I had done before. So that's going to be our little learning lesson on this one. I will still put the recipe down below. I love the recipe, just definitely going to use the other method on my next batch. This probably would be a good way for if you were adding other fruit to it. Like if you were doing a berry applesauce or something like that where you wanted it to all blend together. Anyways, just sharing my little learning curve on that, and we'll show you the finished jars at the end. But right now I'm getting them jarred up and we're going to put them into the canner and get on with the next thing for today. Our applesauce is all done for the day. We ended up with 7 big jars and 3 little jars. As I said before, not super thrilled with it, but the taste was good. Just not my favorite texture compared to the other stuff. Gonna try again because, well, we have lots of apples. So gonna go for it again. And again, like I said, maybe try some with a bit of berries or some sort of fruit mixed in. I've got lots of blackberries out in the freezer from harvesting earlier or something like that, just to do a mixed berry type applesauce. Anyways, that's something to try. We didn't get to making our apple pie fill, but we've got in the dehydrator a whole bunch of slices. Kids helped out with that when they got home, which was fantastic, getting those all sliced up. We still have about 2/3 of our bucket left of the apples that we set aside for our pie fill, so that might be tomorrow's project. I'm quickly learning that I should only plan to do one project a day. I think it's just not feasible to keep up with 3-4 different canning items a day, as well as doing day-to-day chores and other extra things. But that's okay, because we're just going to take it slow and steady. And we didn't get here till November 1st last year, and we were still harvesting apples then. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it's going to be that kind of year again. Another little perk from making our applesauce and such today is the piggies have a half bucket of all these goodies. Now, yes, they can also be used to make apple cider vinegar, which I did do with the applesauce peelings from the other day. I've got 2 liters on the go. I'm kind of testing that out, but I think the next batch we'll do another with the apple discard pieces. We will make another round of cider vinegar so that we have a nice kind of constant supply of it. It's the end of the day, and we're about to sit down to an amazing dinner with the help of the kids. We've prepared a gorgeous apple crisp and a wonderful dinner with our partridge chanticleer chicken and a bunch of stuff from the garden, including a what's the stuff in the salad?
Kale.
Red Russian kale salad. So here we are, the fruits of all our labors. Hope your meal is as good as ours.